At 5:47 a.m. in Dickey County, North Dakota, the thermometer reads 29 degrees. A combine sits at the edge of a field, engine idling, headlights aimed into a wall of standing sunflowers, 8 feet tall, stalks the color of rust, heads drooped forward like something exhausted. The sky behind them is still dark purple. Frost sits on the cab glass. The operator, a man named Gary, has been here since 5. He doesn't rush the engine. He knows what cold does to metal. He waits. This is the last crop still standing on the northern plains. Wheat came out in July. Corn finished in October. But sunflowers, they wait. They have to. The heads need to dry down. The moisture has to fall. Too early, and the cost of artificial drying eats the margin alive. Too late, and the stalks go down, blown over by November wind, buried under early snow, and impossible to pick up off the ground. The window is narrow. It always is. North Dakota produces more than 90% of all sunflower seeds grown in the United States. That is not a regional curiosity. That is a national supply chain running on a single harvest window, a few weeks in late September through October, pushing into November when the weather allows. Across the Red River Valley, the James River Basin, the Coteau du Missouri, and out onto the flat plains of McIntosh and Emmons counties, thousands of acres of sunflower are waiting. Today, Gary gets started. By 6:15 a.m., the moisture reading in Gary's field comes back at 12.4%. He needs it at 10 or close. He checks the forecast on his phone. Saturday looks dry. Sunday, wind. Possibly gusts past 30 miles an hour. Lodging risk goes up sharply after that. He makes the call. He'll start today. Dry down will continue as the morning warms. He'll check moisture again at 9. The combine eases forward into the first row. The sunflower head is fragile at this stage, shatter-prone. The seeds can eject on contact if the header isn't dialed right. Gary runs a specialized sunflower header, a pan system mounted in front of the cutter bar. The pans catch seeds that fall. Nothing hits the ground if the settings are right. He's adjusted this header a dozen times over the past 2 seasons. He knows where it needs to be. The stalks feed in. The heads are severed. The pans do their work. Inside the machine, the threshing concave separates seed from hull. The air system pulls debris. The clean seed, small gray-striped confectionery variety, moves into the holding tank. The field fills with the sound of the machine. Gary doesn't talk much when he's running. There's nothing to say. The monitor watches yield. He watches the header. Outside the cab, it's still cold enough to see your breath. 11 miles to the east, a second crew is already 3 hours in. Dale runs a 2-combine operation. His son-in-law, Marcus, runs the second machine. They leapfrog, one filling, one moving. A grain cart operator, a younger man named Cody, shuttles between them. When the tank fills, Cody pulls alongside. The auger swings over, and the combine keeps moving, never stops. Not if they can help it. Time is yield. Every acre left standing past optimal moisture costs money in the dryer. Every dollar in the dryer is a dollar that didn't come from the crop. Dale's been farming sunflowers for 22 years. He started with oilseed varieties, the kind that go straight to crushing facilities, high oil content, steady market, low drama. Then he shifted a portion of his acres to confectionery. Bigger seeds, stricter specs, but a premium price if you hit the grade. Confectionery sunflowers go to snack processors, roasting plants, export shippers. The seeds end up in ballpark bags, in bulk bins, in international markets that process volume in the tens of thousands of tons per year. Oilseed crush goes somewhere else, to biodiesel facilities, to food oil processing, to animal feed supplement plants. Both markets pull from the same counties. Both markets have buyers waiting. By mid-morning, the temperature has climbed to 41. Moisture in Dale's field has dropped to 10.8. Marcus calls it over the radio. Dale tells him to keep going. Close enough. The combines move in steady passes. The field shrinks row by row. The grain cart runs a tight loop, field to road, road to the waiting semi. The semi-driver, a man named Arnie, has been hauling grain for 30 years across 3 states. He doesn't load from silos. He loads right at the field edge from the cart. Then he pulls onto the section road and heads west toward the elevator. The receiving station at the co-op elevator is coordinating intake from 11 counties today. Trucks have been lined up since before sunrise. Moisture tested at the scale. Dockage assessed. Foreign material. Damaged seed. Green material. Grade determined. Payment calculated. Arnie knows the numbers before he unloads. He's seen enough scales. He's hauled enough loads. He can read a grade ticket like a balance sheet. He pulls out. Another truck pulls in behind him. At peak, this elevator will receive 150 semi-loads in a single day. The pit keeps running. The bucket elevators keep lifting. The bins keep filling. Not every day runs clean. At 1:30 p.m., Dale's combine shuts down. Stalks have bridged across the feeder house. The machine plugged. It happens, especially in down-crop areas where stalks have lodged early and tangled together. Marcus keeps running his rows. Dale climbs down with a hook and starts clearing. It takes 20 minutes. In a harvest operation, 20 minutes is not a small thing. It is 2 acres. It is a tank of seed. It is a gap in the rhythm that takes an hour to close. Dale doesn't swear. He clears the plug. He climbs back in. He starts the machine. This is not the first plug this week. It won't be the last. By late afternoon, the wind is picking up from the northwest. The sunflower heads move in the field. The one still standing. The dry stalks creak. Gary finishes his last pass on the first quarter section and starts his turn onto the second. His moisture readings have been solid all day. He's holding right at 10%. The seed is moving clean. The header is performing. At 4:15, a grain cart operator waves him down. One of the tires on the cart has gone soft. Gary pulls up the next full row before he stops. The cart operator has a plug kit. He fixes it on the field edge while Gary runs 3 more passes. 12 minutes, start to finish. Back rolling. The light is changing. October light in North Dakota has a quality unlike summer. Lower angle, more amber. The dust from the combine exhaust catches it and holds it, a haze that trails the machine for 100 yards before it settles back into the stubble. It's the kind of light that doesn't invite contemplation. There's still acreage to cover. At 6:30, Dale shuts his last combine down for the night. The field won't be finished today. He's got roughly 200 acres left on this parcel. He'll come back tomorrow. Weather holds until Sunday. He has time, but not slack. Marcus is already checking the header, inspecting the pans, cleaning seed buildup from the divider points, looking for wear on the cutter bar. This is field maintenance done at dusk by headlamp, because the morning doesn't allow for it. By sunrise, both machines need to be running. Cody has gone ahead to refuel the grain cart. Nobody has eaten since noon. There's a cooler in the pickup. They'll eat on the drive home. By the time the last trucks leave the elevator at 9 p.m., the scale has recorded over 40,000 bushels taken in from the surrounding counties today alone. Across North Dakota this week, millions of pounds of sunflower seed are moving from field to bin. Some will stay in state. Processed at crushing facilities in the Red River Valley, turned into oil that will move through the food system without most people ever knowing where it started. Some will be loaded onto rail cars and move south and east. Some will ship from Gulf ports to buyers overseas. None of it happens if the stalks go down before the header gets there. None of it happens if the moisture stays too high. None of it happens if the weather window closes before the crews finish their work. Gary finishes his last pass at 7:02 p.m. He shuts the combine down. The field is cleared, clean stubble in every direction. Sunflower stalks cut at about 18 inches, standing in rows. The ground smells of cut vegetation and diesel and something faintly sweet. The chaff from the seed heads. He sits in the cab for a moment after the engine stops. The silence comes back fast in a field this flat. He checks the yield monitor. Final tally, 1,840 pounds per acre. A good number, not a record, but solid, consistent. He calls it in to the elevator. He arranges tomorrow's haul. He climbs down. The field is quiet. The stalks are cut. The season's last standing crop has been taken in. In a few weeks, the ground will freeze hard. Snow will come. And somewhere on a shelf, in a bag, in a processor, in a shipping container, some of what was standing in this field this morning will keep moving until next season. Under this video, there's a subscribe button. It's a small action, but it helps document the work that happens before the shelves are stocked. If you're drawn to the rhythm of the harvest, to the crews who move with the seasons, subscribing simply means you want to see how America feeds itself. And tell us, where are you watching from? Have you ever worked a harvest? Have you seen one? Share your experience below. That's how these stories travel.